with the sound of barking dogs in the distance through the fog and the rain, and the cries and the whistles, you can hear that the Bluecoats are certainly on the way. There's a unmistakable call from above you as well, as a spirit seeker crow takes a perch on an awning and surveys the scene, cocking its head towards you as you look up.
Well, I've got a body here. I don't particularly want a body here. So, nearest canal.
Ooh,
We're in Six Towers?
No. You're in Spy Garden. That's in White Crown.
Oh, we're
Spy Garden Theatre. So the nearest canal isn't there. Nearest canal is Northhook Channel.
Well, Gabriel is going to make a small little disappearing act and taking the body with him. I'm making sure this body's not found.
Okay, I am going to say that's going to be a desperate action, limited effect, because Bluecoats are...
Give me a devil's bargain.
Okay, I also have a fine shadow cloak you're more than welcome to use.
So if you want to use that, it will give you a +1 to your roll to go unseen.
Give me the devil's bargain first.
The body, I mean, the body they'll know where it is because the crow will follow it. But you'll be able to get it into Northhook Channel at least, but without any chance of recovery.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay if they know that there's a body and that it's in Northhook Channel, but if it's not recoverable, I'm okay with that. I'll take that bargain.
Okay, so that will give you a +1 to your check.
And I will also go ahead and take the shadow cloak.
So a +2.
+2, and this sadly sounds like a prowl.
I think it does. You can also push yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna push myself.
It's still desperate action because.
But it's greater effect.
Or it's normal effect. It's normal effect.
Okay. So I'm taking that for the die.
Sorry,
I'm taking the. So I get a +3.
You've got. If you're pushing yourself, you get +1, or you can raise the effect to greater effect.
I'm gonna take the die. I would rather have 3 die.
Okay, cool. All right then. So normal effect.
I feel more comfortable with 3 die. Success with
a success. There, you're able to make your way, firstly away from where the Bluecoats are evidently coming from, to the northeast. But as much as you have an advantage on them, you find yourself running with 2 dogs absolutely bursting out of the fog, having been unleashed, and they are now in hot pursuit. One of them, as you round a corner, is able to get some teeth into the back of your leg. And that is going to be that will be a level 1 harm. Would you like to resist or take armor? Otherwise, it will be dog bite.
I will just take dog bite.
Okay, so level 1 harm. Limited effect on prowess from now.
I already had limited effect on prowess.
Oh. So...
You get 2 of those.
You're now on double limited effect.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so like walking along, sort of now hobbling, hood pulled up, body like fireman carry. As you're aware, you manage to like get a foot back, and you push you're able to kick the dog back as well. It rolls over and then kind of gets up again, snarling.
When I toss, or I think also at this point, it's a good time for me to go into the North Hook Channel with the body, just to get away from dogs.
It's as you hobble down, from the. You could just about make out the jutting forms and the chimneys from the Leviathan hunters across North Hook Channel in the docks, and you're hobbling down, just occasionally turning back and sort of taking a boot at one of the dogs as they keep their distance, but now you're sort of walking backwards, and these two dogs just advancing, hand over hand, paw over paw even, advancing on you as you see the figures of bluecoats begin to catch up on them at the end of this channel, and you reach the end and throw yourself into North Hook Channel.
Spoosh. Oh boy, I only got one stress left.
Now, is it possible for me to make my way back to the box? And
Absolutely. You're still in the Spy Garden Theatre, but before we jump back, as you slip away, walking, or as you see the body, just the head, you hear the crunch as the head gives way, and you turn back and make your way back into the theatre. We're going to jump back to Coleridge with Lottie.
Okay.
So this smash and grab at the store was fairly recent, within the last hour or so. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to track down Coben. You never know. Be lucky.
Make me a check.
Gonna be hunt.
is there a flashback we can do? Oh my god!
As you
No. The reverse crit. The
reverse
anti-crit.
crit is, as you begin to make the local resident took off afterwards, and you to the words of
You're cutting in and out really badly.
oh me
Yes.
oh let me try. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. As you follow the way, the direction that you were sent, following the instructions and the directions given to you by those in the local area, and you hear the words "stop asking questions" as this very, very bony forehead looks towards you, and to take armor and or resist through harm of a broken nose.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it would be a concussion actually to headbutt you.
I'm going to take armor on this one.
Okay. As well, negate damage.
Okay.
So to resist, you roll prowess and then subtract the highest result from 6 and take that stress.
0 stress?
Lottie with the with 2 billhooks now stood in the alleyway in front of you, one of which has just thrown a headbutt in your direction. You're able to get an arm up in front and sort of push his head off to one side. Catch him off balance, but you see him wheel around and pull out with that, kind of pulls out this very, very rusted looking cleaver. What would you like to do?
I'm actually here to help. I'm not here to cause any trouble. There's been a misunderstanding here. I was actually looking for him. I was just make sure he was, out of trouble because, well, there's been people looking for him recently, and just.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be a check with desperate action, limited effect.
Don't be suspicious.
It's really suspicious.
Consult.
Remember, you can always take a devil's bargain.
Take a devil's bargain.
Yeah, you can at least hear it.
Okay, so they'll believe you, but it's this moment that Corbin will try and make a getaway.
What does that mean? Is he gonna try to leave the city or just leave the place he is right now?
He's going to try and relocate. He's not going to. He won't leave Dosfot.
Oh, that's fine. We can catch on him later, I guess.
It's so you're going to take the devil's bargain?
Yeah.
It's the one with the cleaver. Kind of spins it back into his hand and tucks it back into into a butcher's apron that he's got around his waist. Yes. We appreciate your concern. And turns and whistles towards the building, which the door is slightly ajar to. And another billhook walks out with Corbin as they make their way, kind of keeping low. And it's Corbin who turns back and just eyeballs you and smiles. It's the big guy in front of you. He kind of moves to block your path, folding his arms. And appreciate your concern.
Yeah.
Sling it.
Be careful that there's this one inspector. He's asking a really awful lot of questions.
So I've heard.
And I just go rejoin with the other.
That's gotta be painful, seeing your target like that.
The fact he knew as well. It's the smile. It's as you begin to head north, and especially as you go through Brightstone, managing to hail a cab, you're fully aware that the bridge itself seems to be on full lockdown. Traffic's going in, but everything is being halted coming out by bluecoats who are just running inspections on every vehicle. And you're aware of at least 2 further carriages sort of glancing out this open-air cabbie that you're riding in. Sort of glancing out, and behind you, you see 2 bluecoat carriages, the big, heavy, ironclad prisoner transports following close, but not so close, but certainly making their way into White Crown. Meanwhile, Hestia back in the theatre.
Yeah, so I just like to make my way back to her box and a hastily written letter that says Corbin has your lover, or we have your lover. Corbin sends his regards. Slide it through underneath the door and then lock it. and be
Ooh.
off.
I am at this point. I'm going to actually make a fortune roll. As you round the corner with the bell and the emergence of a spirit seeker crow, you round the corner into that top level, and the corridor down the box. You can see at the far end of the corridor, bluecoats are going through and emptying the boxes out. The performance has been halted, and you hear the words. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, sir. Very sorry, madam. But the performance will review, but at the moment will resume. But at the moment, we are expecting the arrival of spirit wardens due to some unfortunate business. And you see this very, very well dressed couple that leave, and it's the man especially kind of shaking his head indignantly and rather put out that the performance has been interrupted. The box that Lutis was in is currently between you and the bluecoats, who are moving on to the next box themselves.
Okay. Okay. So I assume that fortune roll was not for me.
It was for the bluecoats. How quickly they've gone through and they're emptying the theatre.
They're actually being efficient at their jobs.
This is White Crown. There's a certain pride in the job as opposed to being the usual thugs in a uniform.
Can I, what's the word I'm looking for? Flashback?
Yes.
And I would like to use a disguise kit complete with blue coat paraphernalia, and I would like to somehow step ahead of them around the corner, change into it, and then wait for them to come by and pass unnoticed.
I am going to ask you to make me a check on that one because of the difference in tier. Again, it's going to be another desperate action.
Okay, but tier doesn't matter.
Because it's stealth or deception.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay. So no, there's just make me the check. Normal.
All right, that's finesse. No, prowl. I don't know the difference.
Prowl works.
Finesse could work. Sleight of hand.
Finesse. Yeah. As could sway.
Okay, I have the Daredevil ability that lets me get a +1 die for taking one less resistance against any consequences.
Okay, so you take +1 on this roll, but if it goes badly and you want to resist, you're at a -1.
Yeah, that's correct. All right.
Okay.
Prowl.
Do this. Let's do this.
Oh, success with a complication. It's you're able to step by as you walk past a little bench secluded into an alcove with an usher's high collared coat. You're able to sort of throw that over your own, button it up really quickly, and make your way towards the box. And as you arrive at the door, you're able to slip the letter underneath, and it's at that point where the bluecoat spots you and goes, "We'll get him out. You out front. Everyone in this place is going to be accounted for, you included. Move."
I put my hands up and try to seem as meek as possible and make my way past them.
It's the other one who as they do, they watch you go, and it's the other one as you're walking away. He says, "You were already told about this. You should have been the first ones out. Go, double time." And as you round the corner to go back downstairs, you're aware that they've opened the door, and you just see the shadow of a Verity Lutis being cast out, evidently holding the note. You find them, and you bring them, whoever they are, to me. And
me? Are you talking about me?
Whoever left that note, and it's the two bluecoats who then turn and look back down the corridor at the only other person that was up here.
Okay. So is this my run down the steps and try to leave them behind?
As you round the corner, it's the wait. You hear the voice call down the corridor after you. Don't move.
You don't need to run. You could just say you were paid by somebody to deliver that note. You don't have to run.
Okay, so is this, so can I resist this?
Yes, but that will be at the -1.
What am I gonna do? Not roll it?
Oh my.
And that's going to be it's going to be against a command, so it's going to be that's going to be a resolve resistance.
All right, so no dice.
Ooh, so you take the highest. No, you take the lowest, so you gain 2 stress. And so yeah, you take 2 stress, and what are you doing?
Oh no! I'm so I start crying and say they made me. They threatened me. They stole my They took my younger brother. They took him right from our house. They know where I live. I had to. I'm so sorry.
Who? Tell us who. They know where you live. You've seen faces. You've got names. And it's like as he rounds the corner, and you're aware that doesn't round the corner. He's just on the other side now, but doesn't want to kind of like come across as too intimidating at this point.
It's the billhooks, right? It has to be Corbin and the billhooks.
And
sorry, that's a question. That's an out of character question.
If you want,
you have 2 options. You could do that, or I mean, I'll give you free reign to blame it on Gabriel. Gabriel does have connections. So, I mean, you could slip the Dawn in there.
I would never double-cross my uncle. Yeah, it's definitely the billhooks. I don't know who it was, but and I describe vaguely what Corbin looks like.
You've seen wanted posters. He's one of the. It's half of it is because it's gone beyond being just the bounty now. Part of it is like the prestige that comes with that collar. And the 2 of them kind of nod at you. You're sort of aware that they confer, sort of exchange notes. There's a few hushed whispers as they go on. We'll see to this, but and they one of them scribbles down the address of the precinct in Charhollow and says you come there because someone would need to go through this, actually take a statement. If we got coercion, then yeah, it's a start. Meanwhile, Gabriel, your feet rock against the end of the pillar. Pier.
I'm gonna pull myself out of the water, I'm utterly just drenched. And just kind of sit at the end of the pier, attempting to catch my breath, because that's probably not an easy swim.
Did you just swim Norfolk Channel?
Yes.
Maybe a roll on your clock.
Oh.
Because that's some cardio right there.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah, hauling yourself out on the dock's end, you sort of rock at the end of the pier as two... Oh, nice. Put 2 pieces on your clock.
It would be 1. I take the lowest.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, 1 piece. As you're absolutely exhausted, your coat alone now weighs about twice, if not 3 times what it did, as the fur has just been absolutely covered. And yes, you find yourself in the docks with a couple of very, very bemused-looking seafarers looking at you. Both of them look to be Dagger Islanders. They say something kind of to one another in the one of the various dialects of the nation.
Honestly, at this point, Gabriel's so tired. He doesn't even care. His legs killing him. His arms hurting again. So he's just gonna kind of not really tend to his wounds because he doesn't have the expertise for that. But he is going to at least attempt to wrap something around his leg to cover up the dog bites. He's gonna check his arm to make sure the stitches are still holding.
Stitches are holding, and the dog bite smarts as you're able to sort of hobbling down the dock, much sort of past the comments and the strange side glances from the various workers and mariners that you pass by. You're able to locate what looks to be a very, very small offcut, and probably used for patching sails in the smaller vessels that harbour here, which you're able to then wrap around, and it's against a big warehouse wall where you just kind of lean backwards and just put your head back and close your eyes for a moment.
Gabriel's had a day at this point, so he's honestly just gonna rest for a moment before taking a deep breath, and then he's not gonna move back towards White Crown because that would be silly. But he definitely wants a vantage point where he can watch White Crown.
There is... in the docks you've got several kind of options available to you. There is... works. From the various piers, as you make your way slightly eastwards, you can get a good view of Bowmore Bridge, you see that the...
Yeah, I think I would take the old Hunter's Quay. And kind of sit out on the edge there, just overlooking Bowmore Bridge, because as much as Gabriel would probably want to get back into the action, he knows for a fact that would just be expediting the inevitable at this point.
Oh, absolutely. So with that, we will jump back to Lottie. Now arriving in White Crown outside Spire Garden Theatre, you're very aware of a very large crowd that is being attempted to be controlled. It's mostly dissatisfied mumblings. This is not the crowd to start a riot, at least. But there's 3 blue coats around that are trying to console the patrons of the theatre. There's two further out that both have dogs with them that are leashed and they're held back. As you...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
No, don't worry. I was going to add something, but I've realised that will come next. So don't worry. I'll add that in a moment.
I'm just gonna try to find out what happened and if I can find a Hestia.
The clatter of wheels that arrive and the murmuring stops. You can't see Hestia, but you looking up as the clatter of wheels comes to a stop. You see that there are several crows, which are Spirit Seeker crows, which have taken perches around the building. And the clattering wheels from the very, very almost macabre carriage as a spirit warden disembarks from the driver's seat and accompanied by two others that disembark from within. And the crowd falls into a silence as eyes go down and there's this pathway that just parts to allow the three cloaked figures through. And Hestia, on the inside, you are aware as there's now a silence over the building, that there's a clatter as the doors open and a crow flies in. You hear it cawing in the lobby as the wardens begin to make their way through the building. And it's as you make your way down the stairs that, for the first time, Lutece acknowledges you as she catches up with you and says, I understand you may have fallen afoul of a certain group of ne'er-do-wells.
I would call them much more than ne'er-do-wells. They've taken my brother.
And she leads you away. And once she's out of earshot of the Bluecoats, well, I've had dealings with them in the past. I don't know why they would suddenly turn on me at this point, but what will it take to get them to for one, return my companion, and for others to return your brother?
It's definitely that they want that exchange, right?
Well, they give back your brother and my companion, and what do they get in return?
Whatever. You double-crossed someone, didn't you? They're after both of us. I don't know what to do. Surely you can. You have something, right? You can solve this issue for both of us.
Make me a check.
Okay. Is this a consort because we're sharing a moment? Or is it a sway because I'm trying to lie?
Ooh. Up to you, but I'd say it's probably more sway.
May I take a devil's bargain?
Okay. I think there's been some to be honest, I think there's been some cross wires. She employed the billhooks to steal. She was behind the double cross.
Yeah, she has the item. That is true. She does have the item. So we do need to get the item off of her.
So, Devil's Bargain. It will be that you can take +1 on the roll. Go on.
Oh, I just thought about how to make this better. The billhooks realized how valuable that item is, so they want to take it back because they found a different buyer that's offering way more than what she could ever hope to. Which will make her very curious because she's a noble. She's got a lot of money to burn.
So yes, absolutely, we can run with that. So what we can, what this will be. Okay, you will take a new enemy on your sheet, a Verity Lutis. When she finds out.
Oh, Doc. Yes, of course. Okay, so that's 1. I am also going to employ my daredevility and take 1 more die.
Okay.
There we go.
I know what they're after. I mean, to be honest, I will be completely frank, your brother means very little to me. But my companion... We've shared a lot together. So... And what are you looking to get out of this? Are you... Oh, so what you've got is would you like her to actually give you what it is that was stolen in the first place?
Does that help our clause?
I mean, it wraps up one of the 3 targets. Because what we needed from her was the item to get back to the person it actually belonged to. And then that leaves us with Corbin, who's currently in the wind, and the inspector.
Okay, yeah. I think my tone drops briefly as like the calculations happen. I think that would be best. Please, you have to help.
Very well, you deliver it. You get your brother, whoever he is. And I expect to see my companion again. Within the hour.
Of course. I'll arrange it. I'll arrange everything. You don't have to worry. You can trust me. I'll make this right. I promise.
A rather disappointment, I believe. I did have a somewhat of a noteworthy buyer myself lined up, but it would seem that such things are not going to be possible any longer, so I suggest you take this. And she opens a bag, a little clutch bag that she has on her person, and removes something that's probably about the size of a ring box, very small, bound up in paper, tied with string, very, very unobtrusive, and hands it over to you. I suggest not opening it.
I would never.
See, that gets to the bill hooks. And with that, she turns on her heel, makes her way out. And as she does, she sees in the lobby 3 spirit wardens. And you see her beginning to put the pieces together.
Finger guns and leave.
Sorry?
I said finger guns and leave. Am I still wanted for questioning by the inspectors?
Blue coat. They're blue coats, they're not inspectors, yeah. Oh, absolutely, yes.
Are they okay, so are they eyeing me, like, ready to take me in? Or do I need to make an appointment?
No, as she turns and you see her eyes just go cold. And again reaches back into that bag and draws what you see to be a very small snub pistol as the 2 blue coats turn and look at you as well. And it's, hold on one moment, little lady.
Is that her voice or?
No, it's one of the blue coats who's walking towards you, baton just going. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I feel like I have 2 options. I can sneak out, like, through the crowd, or I can blame the whole situation on Latisse. Like, she's got a gun, she's done it once, she'll do it again. But that's scary. That's scarier.
I was going to say that's a desperate action limited effect. As she clicks back the hammer and goes, "Where is Carver?"
Oh, I didn't know.
Where is Carver?
What? Okay, I'm so sorry. This is so spooky. I wish I had made that grappling hook sooner. I think I'm gonna book it, maybe.
As she asks for the 3rd time, it's "Where is Carver?" and pulls the trigger and a window explodes behind you. Warning shot. Lottie, outside, you hear the gunshot ring out. There's screams as you see one of the upper windows just explode. The very, very ornate window just destroyed in a moment.
She's only got one shot in that thing, right?
Run in that direction.
That would be up.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
Okay, so you're gonna try and scale something.
You and climbing buildings has never went well.
Make me a check, and
Okay, you can use my fine climbing gear.
We know how that ended last time I did.
go for it.
What would... I don't really know what to use for climb stuff.
It's +2, right?
Sorry?
Because it's...
it's a tier higher.
Yeah, we're
so
tier 1.
The most because yeah, so it's tier 2 equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say that gives you a +1 on your roll.
Can I use? Can I use? I don't know, prowl.
If you want to go unseen, there is a very large crowd and a whole load of bluecoats watching the building, and all attention is on it now because of that gunshot. So yes, you can, but it's going to be limited effect.
Yeah, maybe I could just sneak in the building instead.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, if you want to use prowl on that, but obviously you don't get the +1 because you're not using the climbing gear.
Yeah. Can finesse work on sneaking in?
Yeah, sure.
So it's normal roll? I don't...
Normal, yeah.
Okay.
As you do, there's a blue coat who steps in the way, like baton up raised, and just pushes you backwards, and goes. And as you're pushed back, just manages to kind of like sweep a little kind of knock, and with a knock, it's a full-on kind of blow into the with the baton into your knee. For it's going to be a level. It's going to be a level 2 harm again for a fractured knee. Would you like to resist? You could take more armor.
No, because I have that abilities. It's tough as nails, so my penalties.
So that's the penalties. So you still take level 2 harm, but it's a you don't take the -1 die. You have a lesser effect.
Okay.
So it's only the penalties that are lowered, not the actual damage level.
Okay, but I still gonna try to resist. I have.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Which means level 1 harm has no penalties. So you roll prowess.
Okay.
And you take 2 stress, but you stumble, but you're able to kind of roll with the sort of sidestep most of the damage. So that's going to be some bruising.
Okay.
And yeah, the blue coat is still very much there, keeping you out of the building. As Lottie, the pistol, in answer to your question, is a little 2-shot thing, so she's got 1 shot left. No, sorry, not Lottie, Hestia. And what are you doing? Hestia?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so can I make a flashback of arranging a carriage for this case happening?
Absolutely. I will say you can either you can take 1 stress and make a roll, or you can pay a coin to bring them in on the score.
Oh yeah, definitely pay a coin.
Okay, absolutely. So you take 1 stress and take a coin off your sheet as a cabbie is waiting.
An armored cabbie, I hope. All right, yeah, I fall back into it. Finger guns.
So jumping, yeah, literally launching yourself out of the out of the now broken window. And falling backwards, there's a rip as you just go through the roof of the cab itself. And Lottie, just see what you want to do. If you want to.
No.
Nothing?
Sorry?
I just said nothing? Nothing you want to do?
Sorry. What can I do?
You could bail out. You've got something from this score at least.
Yes.
As you're pushed backwards again by the blue coat, the doors open behind him, and first two blue coats run out and run around the corner after where Hestia threw herself out the window with a crack of the reins. The carriage pulls away. One of the blue coats runs around the corner and pulls out a pepper pot revolver and just starts blindly firing after it. Hestia, in the back, you're aware of two bullet holes being punctured through the back of the wooden carriage. Both of them avoiding just its superficial damage. As they're from the front again, Lottie, you see the absolutely cold, burning with cold rage face of Lutece as she looks after where the two blue coats just ran to. And as she steps away, the Spirit Seeker crows flock out as well in the wake of the Spirit Wardens. All the eyes turn away again as they begin to make their way towards Norfolk Channel, where that other crow knows the body to now be. And with that, we shall jump back very briefly to Crowsfoot, where Gabriel, arriving slightly before everyone else, you let yourself into the shop, which first thing you notice is the door isn't locked and just sits ajar.
Gabriel slides his hands into his wet pockets where his signature weapon still sits, his brass knuckles, for lack of a better term here, kind of gets them ready and then walks in, hands in his pocket, still drenched, but looking at least somewhat dignified. He doesn't look like a bedraggled cat anymore.
There is a glow of light as a figure lights a sort of stub cigarello, and you see the match illuminates the somewhat craggy features of Eric. I thought we were friends.
Working on the inspector. Still, things did not go as planned. We wanted to get 3 people all together, maybe a little bit too ambitious, but still working on the inspector.
Well, doesn't it explain why a friend of yours was asking after one of my associates? Like I say, I thought we were friends. I thought there was trust here.
Gabriel pauses for a moment and he was like, he kind of shakes his head. I believe I know who you're referring to.
I know you do.
Yes.
I know all too well. The thing is, I've got other friends right across the entire city. Amazing, isn't it? Like how you can get away with half the things that we do. It's almost like, I don't know, we know a few blue coats ourselves.
knows. And after all that, I mean, word travels fast. Apparently it's all going on uptown in White Crown tonight.
Oh yes, it was quite chaotic. As for your other statement, he pauses for a moment and he goes, I am not a dumb man. I'm very well aware of what is about to go down here. However, I still plan on keeping our end of the bargain. Just you wait. One of these days. Maybe not in the more coming days because of what is about to happen. You will find that inspector on your doorstep. I do not break promises.
And there's a clatter of hooves and wheels on the cobbles outside. Yes.
And while you have the chance, send my brother my best, will you?
I suppose I will. At this point, Gabriel does remove the brass knuckles, and immediately his hands just go up as he walks backwards out of the building.
It's a baton that goes into the back of your knee, putting you on the ground, and it's the voice in your ear of,
You've been a very naughty boy, haven't you? What do I call you now? The Don? Is that still what you're going under?
as you turn and you just make out the sort of the profile, jaw and nose of Commander Cleland.
Well,
the one and the only.
Well, so it would seem. We're going to take a little ride now, and you're going to come along with us without any issues, if I'm... Trust me, it will go better for you in the long run.
Of course, officer, I wouldn't dare think of it.
He swipes around the back of your head. It's not a hard punch or anything. He's Commander.
I have a rank.
And like hoist you to your feet, you feel bracelets go on, and you are unsanctimoniously pushed into the back of a prisoner transport. As from the distance, from down the street, you, both Lottie and Hestia, having made your own way back, you see Erin leave the store, compare some notes with the very heavy-set figure of Commander Cleland as he indicates to the driver of a prisoner transport and slaps the horse on its haunches to get it moving. And they watch the carriage pull away, and the two of them part ways, going opposite ways down the street. And as you watch the carriage disappear into the rainy fog.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Wyverian and Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, remember the first rule of a con. Offer them everything for nothing, and give them nothing for everything.